So I'm basically doing a video filming marathon in like 2 days, which is why you've seen me wearing similar outfits for a lot of the last few videos. And it just occurred to me that I'm about to review 2 films that have nostalgic value for me right after I talk about expectations and the effect that nostalgia has on our opinions of things. I'm gonna be testing my own beliefs here.
Remember,
you're a wizard.
On second thought, let's not
You're the dig one hole.
Still princesses.
Contra. As you wish.
Scott, that's Timmy and Tommy Timmons. Mike Squints Pelladors. Alan McLennan, we call him Yeah. Bertram Grover Weeks. Kenny DeNunez. And Hamilton Porter. We call him Ham. Guys, this is Scott Smalls.
Hi.
For some reason as a kid I watched a lot of sports movies. Specifically I watched a lot of baseball movies, which is weird because I never really got into the game itself. Probably the 3 that I watched most frequently were Sandlot, Angels in the Outfield, and Field of Dreams, but Sandlot was probably my favorite of the 3. I don't know what it is specifically about the sport of baseball, it just seems to lend itself well to storytelling. I think it might be because there's a lot of build-up and tension in baseball, more so than in other sports. Because it's paced so slowly and there are long periods of time where nothing is happening, it allows for the tension to build up and it allows you to kind of savor the experience of what's happening. And then there's a sudden burst of excitement where something happens and then you celebrate and then you get back to the waiting and the tension builds up again. Which, in a way, is kind of what a lot of stories do, I guess. I don't know, but for sure Sandlot was one of my favorite films. The movie follows a little boy named Scott Small, who has just moved into a new community and is pretty much a complete loser. Much like A Christmas Story in the Wonder Years, this is told from the point of view of the adult Scott Smalls, and it's basically just a series of stories of his first summer in this new town. We see him make friends with the kids who play at the local baseball field called the Sandlot. The leader of this gang, named Benny, kind of takes Scott under his wing, becomes a really good friend of his, and teaches him how to play baseball. Now, even though this movie is centered around baseball, and indeed baseball kind of acts as a metaphor for a lot of the things that are happening, it's not what I would refer to as a sports movie. When you think of a sports movie, you usually think of the team of misfits who banded together and trained hard to help win the championship, or you think of the underdog who nobody believed in, but who trained hard to win the championship. But that's not what this movie is really about. I mean, you do have Scott Smalls, who's kind of an underdog who nobody believes in and who learns how to play baseball. And he does become a halfway decent baseball player, but his training is kind of a 3-minute segment at the beginning of the film. And you do have this team of misfits, but they're not really competing. There's really only one game in the entire movie, and it's a short segment, and there's no question that the Sandlot kids are going to kick the other kids' asses. I mean, you've got the exchange of insults, then you've got the game, and then you've got the celebration, and that's it. What makes this sports movie transcend above other sports movies is that the focus is not on winning. This isn't a team in the organized sense of the word. This is a group of people who get together every day at this Sandlot and who just play. Who just play baseball for the sake of having fun and for bettering their skills. They're not out to beat anybody, they're just doing it for the sheer joy of playing the game.
Found out that they never kept score. They never chose sides. They never even really stopped playing the game. It just went on forever.
Even Benny, for whom baseball is life, says to Scott Smalls that the point of baseball is having fun.
Man, this is baseball. You gotta stop thinking. You just have fun.
We kind of live in a very victory-driven society nowadays, and I think that this movie's message of playing baseball for fun is a very important one, especially for kids. The movie doesn't center around winning a game or beating an opposing team, it centers around solving a problem. And so the main antagonist isn't an opposing team, it's a beast, a real-life foe, though in the end we realize that that foe is not nearly as big as they thought it was. That's one of the things I love about this movie. In the beginning, the beast, the dog in the next yard, is huge. It's always huge, but then you watch it slowly kind of shrink to a normal-sized dog as the movie progresses. It's a really great coming-of-age story centered around having fun, facing your fears, and making friends. As far as sports movies go, as far as children's movies go, I would say as far as any movies go, this is a great film. On the worth meter, this gets the rare distinction of being an ultimate recommendation. And so that's my review of The Sandlot. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, this is Matt Guyon reminding you that it's not whether or not you win or lose. You know, I was gonna go someplace funny with that, but I can't think of anything. Finish it yourself in the comments. Bye.